Right, here's a Dansette Bermuda, which is in a very bad state, as you can probably see there. It doesn't look like it's had any love showered on it for a few years, or maybe even a few decades. And it's absolutely filthy. It's got some damage to it as well. Let's undo the catches there. As you can probably see there, in the shipping, this is why it's preferable if you pick items up. This was actually damaged in the shipping there, as you can see there. So I've got to obviously repair that. I'm not too sure yet whether it's going to require a recover until I've actually cleaned it all down and actually taken a close look at it after all the grime has gone off of it. So overall, I mean, there's a few nicks in it. Obviously there's a nick there, so around the back there. As I said to you, it's got another nick there. It's been a bit of ink on it there. It's got the original tag on it, which is handy. It's got a tear at the back there, as you can see. Whether or not, again, I can make that look pretty decent or repair that, I'm not too sure yet, so we'll have to get to that when we come to it. But the first thing is to get everything off of it first, strip it all down, inside and outside, until we've just got the shell, and then I'll know where I am. These things, as I say, are the bright work on it. I may or may not clean up. I like to use the originals if I can, but failing that, if I have to replace the ends on it, I can normally retain the handle, the original handle. I like to keep as many parts as I can as original as possible, even down to the little fixing screws, for example, the little brass screws that are in the decks there. So the internals actually doesn't look too bad. It looks all complete. The rubber mat's a little bit stiff. I'm not going to pull about with that, just for the simple reason that I don't want to split it. So it's in the original condition at the moment. It's got the old 2-core flex on it, which has obviously been cut off. So we don't know what we're going to find underneath there yet. It's got the original labels on, which again is nice to see. I'd like to retain the original Rexine if at all possible, because even if it's worn in places, it just shows that it's an original machine from the era, probably the early 60s. And it's all well and good having a nice new looking one that's been totally recovered. I mean, I will do that as a last resort. The whole point of having one of these machines is when you actually lift the lid sometimes, and you get that smell which you had when you was a kid, you know, that sort of valvey sort of heat smell, and that 9 times out of 10 permeates through the actual original coverings, the types of glue they used at the time, and you know, it's all different now. So you can have a new, it's like when you get in a car, if you can sit in a brand new car and get a nice new smell, that's nice in its own way, but then you get in an old vintage car and smell that original sort of materials used of the period era, and it's a totally different smell. And if you're of that generation where you remember them sort of smells, then it can bring back fond and vivid memories of a misspent youth, I suppose. So I'm going to start stripping this down now anyway, and just to see what the chassis is like, and bearing in mind I've got to do a little repair up there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, here we go, we've got it totally stripped down now. Now I do like these boxes because you will find that people sometimes sign their names in them, for example. Now this one is signed by Andy. Now because these was 9 times out of 10 put together by hand, these all add to the history of the actual unit, and these are things that I don't like tampering with because it is all part of the provenance of the actual unit. And for example, another thing is that you know that these weren't made by hand. I mean, I've had a few of these apart before, and the grill plate that fixes on the inside there, and the speaker bolts in. The speaker normally bolts on this grill, but for some reason someone had placed the speaker a little bit lower down in this one, so the fixings for the bottom part of the speaker actually fell in the crease down there, as it say, down there sort of thing. So that just, like, that's these 4 holes there basically around the speaker. So other Dansettes I've worked on, obviously the speaker has been a bit further up, so all 4 holes sort of lay down on the actual speaker plate, and it just goes to show that these were actually built by hand. And I won't be correcting that, I'll be putting them back in exactly the same holes just to keep everything as it was, as per factory. So as I say, I'm going to just give all this a clean off now. There's the grill. It don't look too bad once it's stripped down. As I say, you start to see exactly what's involved. And the speaker is okay, it's in good condition. There's going to be a few components which I change in here, obviously. And these are the knobs, as you can see. That's how most of them tend to end up. And what that basically means is that these little silver cap or little gold coloured caps have been misplaced. So they literally just popped off when I took the knobs off. You can't buy these anymore, as I said to you. It's very hard to replicate, but there is ways of getting or achieving this look again. I think there is someone who does make them, but they're not widely advertised, and they're also very expensive. So you can get away with, in a certain instance, some sticky back plastic to create the same effect if you are actually lacking them. So that's the knobs, and what I like to do is to look at the actual components. Sometimes people write the dates inside the boxes, sometimes you can go by the age on the actual components. Get the electrics out of the way. I don't know water or whatever getting on me electrics there, do we? In actual fact, I'll just take off this little chrome strip here. I'll keep all the clips. Not that I'll be using them again, but again, some of these clips I've taken off before. They're only stapled on. Some of these I've had that I've only got 3 staples in, and this one has got a whole row of them in. Again, it was down to whoever built the unit in the first place. Instead of a machine building it, this was actually built by someone who was probably sitting on a production line, and they probably had a criteria to work to, but some of them only put 3 in, and some of them put a lot more in, like this person, for example. For example, his name is probably Andy, as I've said, it's written down there. So there's the chrome strip. It's in a bit of a dirty position, but I should clean up okay. So we'll put that to one side, and then slowly start to clean the case. I haven't taken the feet off, look. I'll just take the feet off as well. Right, okay, there we go. I probably will replace them screws because they're just all rusted, and they were probably zinc plated screws or something like that. I probably will replace them. We'll keep them for now. And these I should probably sandblast and give them a nice coat of gold paint and gold clear lacquer to give them some sort of durable finish on them. So that's what's intended for them anyway. Now, as we see with this bit here, which is actually damaged, it's damaged the original Rexine. Now I'm going to try and repair this first of all. Now don't forget, this Rexine is of the era, it's the period piece. I'm just going to try and give this a basic clean for the moment, just to see what we could possibly achieve. I don't know if you can see that, that's the dirty water that's come off of it, and the actual smell is actually horrible. As you can probably see there, that's years of grime. Now look, coming off. So all in all, that side actually is looking a whole lot better. So I'll get everything down to this level, and then we'll take a look and probably sort out the repairs we need to do. And this possibly may be recoverable, so I'll do this to this unit and I'll clean the lid up the same way. Right, again, this is the lid. again, I clean everything down with a preliminary clean, and I've done half of the lid, as you can see. Now there's obviously 50 years of grime on this, absolutely filthy, but with a little work the original patina comes back. Now, as I said, I don't really like to recover these if I can help it, because it's all part and parcel of its use. Now I may touch up this little bit here on the corner, for example, but you know, it's really all about having these units as original as they are. Although I've got to do a repair to that, I shall inject some glue into that joint and then clamp the unit back together, and hopefully that should be good enough with some proper wood glue. So that's what I've got intended there. And as I say, the beauty of the inner part of the unit is that's going to require very minimal clean, and it's also retaining the original label. So yeah, this is the preliminary clean with the solution which I use over here, and then I'll clean off with a mild solution of soap without any aggressive cleaning materials, and then I'll dry it all off, and then I'll treat the surface. So yeah, that's how it's coming to look at this moment. Right, with regards to the rip on the back of this Dansette, I've just started the first stage of the repair. If you remember, this was all torn here, and I've trimmed it up, and I've applied my first level of the repair. So I'm just going to dry it off now with a hairdryer. Right, there's the repair I've made, and if you can see it, it looks pretty level, doesn't it? I haven't quite got the colour right, but I've got the texture in the actual repair, and I think you'll find that once I've got the colour blended in, the repair will be fine, as you can remember what it was like before. So yeah, well, not done too bad a job there. The levelness of the actual repair, as you can see, if I go down even further, look, you can actually see that there's very little protrusion of any gouges that was there, but the colour just needs slight alteration. But it's definitely okay. The rest of the unit has come out lovely. You can't probably see it in this light, but the only bit I've got to work on also is the front cream coloured bit, which I haven't touched yet, but the rest of the box has actually come up a treat. So yeah, I'm well pleased with that. The repairs turned out okay, as I said to you. Although I say you can see it at the moment because it's light, but all I was basically doing, the actual repair under the hand, you basically can't feel it, and I've got the texture in there as well. So all I'm going to do now is work on the colour and get the colour the right shade.